Adam Silver has caused quite a stir in WNBA world because he just went on the Today Show and he was talking about the WNBA CBA, and here's what he had to say.
And now Adam Silver has caused quite a stir in WNBA world because he just went on the Today Show and he was talking about the WNBA CBA, and here's what he had to say. He said, "I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. The WNBA is officially in chaos. Commissioner Kathy Engelberg and NBA boss Adam Silver are reportedly butting heads. Players are angry, owners are panicking, and the entire league's future may hang on one person, Caitlin Clark. And yes, the irony is painful. The same player who saved the league might now be the reason it tears itself apart. So who's actually losing control here? The tension between Kathy Engelberg and Adam Silver isn't new, but this time it's exploding in public. Increase in this cycle of collective bargaining, and they deserve it. So what he's talking about here is the revenue share that the players have been fighting for. So essentially what the players have said in these negotiations is that they want to be paid more when it comes to their salary, but they also want a higher percentage of the revenue split because currently they're only getting 9% of that revenue split. But we have went over it a million times, you guys. The structure of the WNBA, the finances in the WNBA, and the structure of the finances in the NBA. And the trigger? Caitlin Clark. Yeah, you heard that right. The same player who boosted ratings, packed arenas, and turned the WNBA into a trending topic every week, has now unintentionally become the spark behind a full-on power struggle between the league's leadership and the players' union. Let's break this down and plain English. Right now, the WNBA is in the middle of collective bargaining agreement, CBA negotiations. That's where players and league officials fight over money, salaries, bonuses, and most importantly, revenue sharing. Basically, who gets how much of the pie. Adam Silver went on national TV, The Today Show, and said something that made everyone's jaw drop. "I think share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. The players will get more money in this cycle, and they deserve it." The WNBA, as you know, they're calling for, players in the WNBA are calling for more money. They 9%, I believe accordingly. They get 9% of total revenue compared to roughly 50% of the revenue of NBA players. Should they be getting a larger share of the revenue in the WNBA? Yes, I think the share isn't the right way to look at it because there's so much more revenue in the NBA. I think you should look at it in absolute numbers in terms of what they're making. And they're going to get a big increase in this cycle of collective bargaining. And they deserve it, but not a bigger percentage. Translation? Yeah, you'll get a raise, but don't expect to sit at the big kids table. And that's when Kathy Engelberg's nightmare began, because as soon as Silver said that the WNBPA, that's the players' union, lost it. They fired back with a sarcastic post, tagging Adam Silver directly, saying don't want to share Adam Silver. Yep, the official account. Not a burner, not a fan page. The actual WNBA Players Association went full petty mode on Instagram. But what really made it ugly was what came after. The league spokesperson basically called the union statement misleading. They said the WNBA had already offered an uncapped revenue sharing plan tied to league growth. In other words, we gave you a deal, you just didn't read it. So now Kathy Engelberg stuck in the middle, trying to calm angry players, while also not publicly fighting with her own boss, Adam Silver, who technically controls most of the money. Because here's the part no one likes to mention. The WNBA doesn't even fully own itself. The league only owns 42% of its own operation. The NBA owns another 40%. And the remaining 18% belongs to outside investors, brought in back in 2022, when the WNBA was basically begging for funding. What the solution is now, in true WNBA fashion, they decided to clap back on their Instagram account to Adam Silver's remarks. And they posted this. They said don't want to share at Adam Silver. So they literally tagged Adam Silver, used a screenshot from this interview, and posted this in their Instagram story. You guys, I do not know what they think doing that will accomplish. You know how there's that meme where it's like 0 days of whatever? It's like 0 days of professional. Nope. Entertaining. Absolutely. Was like, we call BS and we see you. It's like, I don't understand what posting this does. Besides stir up more drama. People are like, oh, look at them. Look, it's like, no, we're acting like children should be acting like a professional organization. You have to work out these things at the negotiating table, not on social media. Like, this is so childish to me. And when I saw this, it just reminded me of how draining it is sometimes to cover this league, because it's like, seriously, really, truly, really. That means even if Engelberg wanted to give the players a 50-50 revenue split like the NBA, she can't. The league doesn't have the authority to. And now the players want to take on the one guy who's literally keeping the lights on, Adam Silver. This is why every owner, investor, and sponsor in the room is quietly panicking right now. Because if the players dig in and refuse to play without a new deal, we're looking at something that hasn't happened in WNBA history, a lockout. And the timing couldn't be worse. The next CBA deadline hits on Halloween. And trust me, that's going to be scary for everyone involved. The WNBA says they're fighting for fairness. They claim they're undervalued. They want a higher percentage of league revenue, not just salary bumps. And on paper, that sounds fair. But here's the issue. The WNBA has never made a profit. That's even with Caitlin Clark filling arenas, boosting ratings, and saving ticket sales. So let's put that into perspective. You're losing money every season, and your players are demanding a bigger cut of the losses. That's the argument Adam Silver's making, but in PR-friendly language. And Kathy Engelberg is trying her best not to say that out loud, because she knows how fast the internet would drag her. The players, though, they don't care about numbers. They're pointing to Caitlin Clark. They're saying, look at the crowds, look at the ratings, look at the jersey sales. We're finally relevant. We deserve more. And here's where it gets awkward. They're not wrong. Because without Caitlin Clark, this conversation wouldn't even be happening. She's the reason the owners even have leverage to negotiate a new media deal. She's the reason new sponsors showed up. She's the reason attendance doubled and ratings jumped 400%. Every metric the players are using to argue for more money comes directly from Caitlin Clark's success. And that's why this entire situation is both hilarious and tragic. Because now Adam Silver's basically telling Kathy Engelberg, congrats, your players want a raise. And it's your golden child's fault. The league got addicted to the Caitlin Clark effect. Now it's paying the price. When she got injured earlier this year, everything tanked, ratings dropped, talk shows stopped mentioning the league. ESPN's WNBA coverage flopped so hard they canceled one of their new talk shows after just a few weeks. That injury gave the owners a brutal reality check. Without Caitlin Clark, the hype disappears overnight. And you can bet Adam Silver noticed that. He's probably sitting in his office thinking, see, this is why we're not doing a 50% revenue share. Take her out of the equation, and the numbers fall off a cliff. Meanwhile, the players are saying, no, this league is growing because of all of us. And Adam Silver's quietly laughing. Really? Because we saw the ratings without her. This is why Kathy Engelberg is stuck between two ticking time bombs. Her players' expectations, and Adam Silver's reality check. Every public statement now looks like damage control. The union accuses the league of running out the clock. The league accuses the players of misrepresenting offers. Fans are picking sides, and sponsors are nervously watching from the sidelines, wondering if they should even renew next year's contracts. The whole situation feels like a soap opera, only with fewer baskets and more boardroom drama. And behind all of it, Caitlin Clark's name keeps popping up like a ghost, because whether she likes it or not, she's become the centerpiece of every argument, the proof of success, the excuse for higher pay, the leverage in every negotiation. Even retired WNBA players like Rebecca Lobo are admitting it. In the past, there was always a real chance the NBA could pull the plug and say, this is too much. But now these franchises are worth too much. These women are worth too much. Translation, the only reason they're worth too much now is because of one player's popularity. You can feel the panic behind those words. Everyone knows the truth, but no one wants to say it out loud. The league's survival is tied to Caitlin Clark, and that's a terrifying position for any commissioner to be in. Adam Silver knows this. Kathy Engelberg knows this. The players know this. And now they're fighting over who gets credit for her impact and who gets paid for it. The funniest part? Even with all the drama, the WNBA still loses money. They've quadrupled their media deal to about $260 million. But that's pocket change compared to the NBA's billions. The WNBA's 9% share of revenue sounds bad, but when you realize there's no profit to share, it's almost meaningless. But try telling that to the players' union. They're demanding transparency, accusing the league of hiding its real numbers, as if there's some secret vault of profits sitting in a New York office. One player even said, "The NBA's using us to make money." Reality check. They're funding you to stay alive. That's the problem Cathy Engelberg can't say out loud. The NBA's been propping the WNBA up for nearly 3 decades. If Adam Silver ever said we're done, the league would collapse by next summer. And yet here we are. The players are threatening to walk, and the commissioner's office is quietly panicking about what happens if they actually do. The league's entire empowerment image is at risk. The same story they've been selling that women's basketball is finally could backfire if the 2021 season doesn't happen. And guess who will get blamed? Caitlin Clark. Because if there's number 2021 season, every sports outlet will say, it all started when the Caitlin Clark era changed everything. Not because she did anything wrong, but because her success made everyone realize how broken the league's foundation really was. She raised expectations so high that now, even the owners can't keep up. So yeah, the WNBA officials are in full panic mode. Cathy Engelberg's trying to play nice. Adam Silver's trying to sound diplomatic. The players are tweeting shade. And Caitlin Clark's probably somewhere in Iowa just trying to focus on her jumper, completely unaware that she's accidentally started a war between billionaires and union reps. The chaos isn't calming down, it's spreading. Every day new reports come out of tension between Cathy Engelberg and Adam Silver. And at this point, it's less leadership disagreement and more power tug-of-war. What started as a few offhand remarks from Adam Silver about money has now turned into a full-scale meltdown inside the WNBA. Here's the truth. Both Engelberg and Silver are right, and both are wrong. Adam Silver knows this league survives on NBA support. He knows the WNBA hasn't made a consistent profit since day one. Without NBA money and owners backing them, there is no league. So when players start demanding a 50% revenue split like the NBA, he's not being cold or dismissive. He's being realistic. He knows 50% to split when the league's running on borrowed money. But Cathy Engelberg has a different problem. She's the face of the league, the one who has to smile in front of cameras while the players accuse management of being greedy. She can't admit what Adam Silver can, that the business side is barely keeping its head above water. Because if she does, sponsors panic, fans lose faith, and the whole growth story collapses. Now, add Caitlin Clark to the mix, and everything explodes. Her rise gave players confidence they've never had before. Suddenly, the numbers looked great. Attendance, viewership, jersey sales, all through the roof. So the players started saying, "See, we're growing, we deserve more." But here's what they don't want to hear. It's not we, it's her. Caitlin Clark changed the game, not the system. The system's still broken. One player can't fix decades of poor management and financial loss. But try explaining that to a room full of stars who see her success as proof they should all be millionaires. And when Caitlin got injured, the mask came off. Ratings dropped, media coverage vanished. The casual fans, the ones who were finally paying attention, stopped watching. The owner saw exactly what life looks like without her. And it wasn't pretty. That's when panic hit the front office. Adam Silver's now using that drop-off as proof in negotiations. He's telling Cathy, "See, it's not the league that's growing. It's one player driving the whole thing." He's basically warning her, don't give away more money when the entire business depends on one person. Meanwhile, Caitlin's stuck trying to keep the players happy, even as they're calling her leadership out of touch. The WNBPA is throwing shade on social media instead of working behind closed doors. And it's embarrassing. They're posting memes and sarcastic captions like high schoolers, not professionals negotiating multi-million-dollar deals. And here's the kicker. Both sides are using Caitlin's name like a bargaining chip. Adam Silver points to her success to justify why the league shouldn't raise the revenue share, saying she's the reason for the boom, not the structure. The players use the same example to demand more, saying she represents their collective value. And poor Caitlin, she's not saying a word. She's probably at the gym shooting threes while her name gets tossed around in boardrooms she didn't even ask to be in. The league's entire identity crisis now revolves around her. Adam Silver doesn't want another NBA-level lockout drama on his record, especially not over a league that barely breaks even. He wants this resolved quietly, a modest raise, a few headline quotes about growth, and everyone moving on. Kathy Engelberg, on the other hand, is desperate to prove she can run this league independently. But when the players start clashing with her and calling out her leadership, it makes her look weak. This feud has gone from business to personal. Adam Silver is tired of the WNBA's internal drama spilling into the press. Both are tired of feeling like a puppet, and the players are tired of hearing "we'll get to it next year." But the ugly truth is simple. Without Caitlin Clark, there wouldn't be this argument. She's the reason the players feel bold enough to demand more, and the reason the owners are too scared to give it. You can almost feel the nervous energy in every press release. The smiles look forced. The quotes sound defensive. Everyone knows the league's walking a thin line. If a guaranteed, the deadline is Halloween. And for the WNBA, that might be the most fitting date possible. Because if they blow this, it'll be a nightmare. Sponsors will pull out. Fans will move on. Networks will quietly drop coverage. And when that happens, all those headlines about women's sports finally booming will age fast. The WNBA's fighting over numbers, but the real problem's power. Who has it, who wants it, and who can hold it? Kathy Engelberg and Adam Silver are both running out of time, and Caitlin Clark's success just turned the heat up higher. So what do you think? Is this leadership battle going to save the league or sink it? Hit like and subscribe for more, because now other players and analysts are starting to speak up. They're saying this wasn't the first time a coach messed with an injury timeline for PR. So Stephanie's about to become the poster child for bad management. Instant regret doesn't even cover it. This is career-ending kind of regret. You can already see the fever trying to scrub their mess. Getting old posts, editing quotes, acting like none of this happened. But come on, the internet never forgets. Caitlin Clark is fine now. Doctors say she's healthy and ready to play. But this whole saga proved one thing. Some coaches care more about optics than honesty. And Stephanie White just found that out the hard way. The fallout from this whole mess has been wild. You'd think after getting exposed by actual doctors, Stephanie White would come out, phone it in, and move on. But no. Instead, she's doubling down like nothing happened. She's smiling in pressers, dropping those same one day at a time lines like a broken record. It's almost impressive, the confidence it takes to act this delusional on camera. And now fans are letting her have it. The Fever's comment section looks like a war zone every post, no matter what it's about. Congrats to our interns. Happy birthday, Aaliyah. So find 50 people typing "stop lying about Caitlin" under it. That's what happens when you insult people's intelligence. You can't call fans family one day and then feed them made-up injury updates the next. People care. They watch every game. They follow every press conference. And when you lie to them, they notice. The best part? The doctors who broke the story aren't backing down either. They've been doing interviews explaining exactly why the Fever's version of events made no medical sense. One even said, "It's highly unlikely a professional athlete with multiple groin strains could return to full movement in under 2 weeks." Translation? Stephanie White, you're full of it. And the timing of everything makes her look even worse. Remember when she said Caitlin was almost ready right before that road trip? Yeah. Turns out that was the same week the team quietly filed for extra medical evaluations, which basically means they knew she wasn't close to ready. So not only did they lie, they planned around the lie. That's next-level manipulation. Even players from other teams are low-key calling it out without saying her name. One player posted a tweet saying, "Protect your body. They'll smile in your face and ruin your career behind your back." Everybody knew what that was about. And it's not just players. The media's waking up too. Reporters who used to back Stephanie are now starting to turn. An article headline literally said, "Fever coaching staff faces credibility crisis." Yeah, credibility crisis. That's journalist code for "we caught you lying." But let's go back to the core of this. Why lie in the first place? Because the team was desperate. The Fever season was hanging by a thread. And instead of being transparent, they tried to fake optimism. You know the classic, "she's fine, just resting" routine. The problem is when you keep saying that for 3 months people start connecting dots. Fans realize something wasn't right. Caitlyn's body language said it all. She wasn't injured anymore. She was frustrated. She wanted to play, and they were holding her back. And if that's true, that's not just bad leadership. That's sabotage. There's this clip floating around from a post-game presser where Stephanie said, "We're being cautious with Caitlyn." Meanwhile, she'd already been cleared by her personal doctors to start scrimmaging. You can literally see the assistant coach's face twitch when she says it. Like even he didn't believe what was coming out of her mouth. Now that the receipts are out, everything about her interviews looks off. The fake smiles, the vague medical talk, the she's feeling good lines. All of it looks like damage control in real time. And fans are brutal. One tweeted, "Stephanie White treating Caitlyn Clark's recovery like a Netflix cliffhanger." Another wrote, "Can someone tell the Fever this isn't the CIA? We can handle the truth." That's the internet for you. They turn everything into a joke, but there's always truth behind the punchlines. At this point, Stephanie White's best move might be to lay low for a while, because every time she opens her mouth it just gets worse. The internet's calling it the Caitlyn cover-up. The memes are flying. And while it's hilarious to watch unfold, it's also sad, because this whole thing could have been avoided if honesty had just been the first option. So yeah, instant regret definitely hit, but the damage is already done. Stephanie White wanted control, now she's lost it. The doctor spoke, the fans saw through it, and the truth's out. Caitlyn's fine, but that coaching reputation, not so much. What do you think? Did the Fever get punished for this, or just fire her already? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like and don't forget to subscribe for more.